For the installation of the decal, I'm going to be using a number of things. Obviously the decal, a credit card, any sort of card. I'll show you how to use this later. A little pin, just to kind of, help remove the little, like the Apple logo or the little leaf of the Apple logo, stuff like that. Microfiber cloth. The microfiber cloth I use to actually clean the phone prior to starting the installation, applying the decal. You don't want fingerprints and hand oil or anything like that to get on the phone. So I definitely recommend washing your hands before starting this. It just makes the installation a lot easier, cleaner, and it makes the decal last longer on the device. So let's get started. Alright, let's remove this. Okay, so I'm going to be applying the gold microfiber decal. Looks really nice. And these are already pre-cut to the exact measurements, specification of your device. If you peel it at an angle like this, very tight, you could see that you can just leave everything on the paper. But you can see that one is missing, which is a little leaf, which is very easy. That's why it's good to always be prepared with this. So you could just kind of push it out like that, without grab it on the other side. Perfect. Now it's getting up. There we go. That was easy. Okay, so let's start with the back. One thing that I always do is I start with the logo and the flash camera. Just kind of align those first, so that if those are aligned, everything else is going to get aligned. So I start like this. Okay, so remember I said I'm going to be using the card? Well, I'll show you how. So open that up. This helps you prevent air bubbles, because there is nothing like applying a screen protector or decal or whatever it is with air bubbles at the end, and then it just looks horrible. So to avoid them right from the beginning, let's actually put that card inside of this microfiber cloth and slowly apply this. Okay. And as you can see, it's already aligned. It's gonna go right, right down the edges. It looks good. It's looking very good. So keep going slowly. Don't rush this. You'd rather do it right the first time than have to peel it and then do it again and again and again until it's right. As you can see, There's absolutely zero air bubbles. Zero. I mean, spot on. Spot on. Looks perfect. Alright, so now we're done with that. Let's get to, let's tackle the front of this. Again, clean it. The front is a little tricky, and I'll show you why. Okay, again, the home button right there. Leave that behind, unless you want it to. It's up to you. And then the speaker right here, you want to get that out. Speaker and front facing camera, you want to get those out too. There's one, and there's two. Great tool to have right here, instead of using your nails, if you have nails. Okay, so it should look something like this. So you have the hole for the home button, speaker and front facing camera. Same concept. Let's start. You can start from the camera, or you can start from the home button. Doesn't really matter, as long as you align it first. Align the edge at the bottom. Make sure it's centered. Make sure the home button is centered perfectly. Just like that. Okay. For this, I could use the microfiber on the card. Yeah, actually, let's use that. That's probably the best way to do it. Alright. As you can see, this is the tricky part I was referring to, because you want it to be right on the outside edge. You don't want to obviously cave it into the screen, or else it's gonna look horrible. Okay, just like that. And start slowly applying it. Let's see. Okay, it's going perfectly. In this, I advise go slowly, take your time, don't rush. Guys, even if it caves in a little bit, I'll show you what you can do. Okay, so now okay, so now you get to the end. This is a little easier. From the center out. From the center outward. Outward. Now with your card, just make sure it's well applied. Let's see how straight that is. That is pretty darn straight. There's a little slight, kind of going into over the screen. Like I said, you can fix that very easily. Just with your thumb, just gently push out. I mean, you can barely notice, honestly. There we go. There you go. Okay, so now let's continue with the side here, the sim. trickiest part here is actually keeping the phone sideways without actually falling. Okay. From the center out, and don't stretch the material because it could stretch a little bit. See how perfectly aligned that is? So now just gently, just like so. Just like that. Let's go with the... Oh, these didn't come up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So this is where, this is one of the sides for the up and down volume. Push those out. Let's see if this works. Didn't work. Sometimes it does. Hey, actually it stayed on my finger. Okay. Oh, actually there's another one, sorry. There's another opening for the volume vibrate little switch. Okay, again, don't start from here. Always start from where the buttons are. It's so much easier to actually align, because if you get those aligned correctly, everything else will be aligned just right by default. Take your time, make sure you do it right. Okay, before continuing, always double check after you go over the buttons. Kind of look over it, make sure that it is aligned. In this case it is. And then yeah, just carefully continue. This one went a little bit sideways, not a problem. You could easily fix that. Going back to, it probably started curving a little bit after the button, because the button does have very thin sides, so it can easily start curving a little bit. Alright, perfect. Looks good. Now let's go ahead and now we just need the top. We have the top left and the bottom, and that is right here. Let's see. Can't. There we go. Let's leave those behind like that. You can just peel that off. This put it anywhere. All right. So this one is for the top, for the on button, on lock button. Okay. Same thing. Start where the button is first. Okay, just like that, perfect. Now slowly perfect. Okay, just like that. Now the bottom. Wow, this one actually stayed. Okay, so let's see if that's everything. No, one is missing, which is, here we go, right there. Okay, so it would look like that. Just like that. This one just finishes like that. And that looks perfect. And that is it. After doing all of that, just, just kind of pass your microfiber cloth around everything. Make sure that, kind of inspect your work. Make sure there's no air bubbles. If there are, don't just go with your nail and, or go with one of these, like a needle, and try to pop them out. That's just, it's definitely not ideal. So if you have any air bubbles, just gently, actually, you do have to apply some pressure, but use something like this, a card instead of a microfiber cloth, and push it outward toward the exit. You can slowly see that the bubble will start traveling and being pushed out towards the outside, or the nearest exit per se. So just kind of, you know, do that. Don't just like, scratch it with your nail, because you could damage the vinyl here, because this is vinyl. So, and that is it.